It is Wednesdays with Ward. We're with Troy G. Ward, the head coach of the Abbotsford Heat. Welcome back. How are you, Coach?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm well. A busy 3-3 for your hockey club, but you settle in against a club that's pretty familiar all of a sudden. Do you feel a growing rivalry with this Marlies club?
Well, I think based on the way the year finished last year, having the 5 games we played against them in the playoffs, I thought we played really well in Game 1. I thought we actually played pretty well in the series at times. We just unfortunately didn't find ways to win some of those games. And so I felt even last year, though, prior to the series, obviously there was a little rivalry. You got 2 Canadian teams that want to do battle, and there's some friends on each team where it adds to the battle. I think that's the thing behind the scenes that people don't know. Like if 2 of our players know 2 of their players, it gets pretty heated out there pretty quick. So that is the case. So we'll find ourselves in a good battle this weekend.
What sticks out in that series that ended May 9th last spring that you'll remember down the road?
Well, I think it was a year ago, so both of our teams are different this year. I think the mentalities might be the same, but the fact remains there are new parts to each team. They will probably want to play really hard against us based on the way the games went last year in the playoffs. They took their liberties, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like they just went after us pretty hard, and then we didn't have a response in the power play. So when you feel that comfortable, like being hard against somebody because you know their power play isn't going to generate much against you, it makes you a little bit more aggressive. And I thought that was one of the differences in the series.
Moving to your club, how have things progressed? You likened the first 4 games at home to somewhat of an exhibition slate, just getting a feel for how the team is coming together. Where is the identity, or is that still being formed?
Well, I think our identity is pretty well set right now, at least at this point. Through 7 games, I would say that we're a hard-working team. I think we're honest. I think we show up every night. We don't really tend to beat ourselves very often, at least through the first 7. And that's where we're at right now. Our special teams have gotten off to a good start. And so I would just call us an honest club that goes into every game, having a game plan or a chance hopefully to win the game. And it seems like through our goaltending on out, we put ourselves in a position to win every game.
Big election south of the border this year, but the vote that Heat fans concerned about coming in the next few days, your captaincy will be determined. Tell us about the process and why you do things the way you do.
Well, we haven't named one yet, just for the simple reason. I just coaching a team is like starting with the new students in class. Like every year you get a new crop of students. You got to figure out everything with all the new students and let everything be equal. And I think the coaching's the same way. Like we got a new group of guys, and in fairness to Quentin Lang, who's back, and Walter, who was there last year, and Piscula and those guys. We have, McCarthy, who's a veteran. You have Callahan, who's a veteran. You have Carter Banks, who continues to emerge all the time as a leader. There's all kinds of different guys back there that are good leaders. So I felt the due process was to just let these guys go for the first 3 weeks of the season, especially after a road trip. I think you can identify with some character things and leadership there, and then we'll bring it to a vote now.
Excited about the weekend?
Yeah, I mean it's a good weekend. You don't want to get ahead of yourself, but I think just hockey in general in the Fraser Valley right now, with the fact that we've got Toronto coming in here, which should be a great series. We get a little over a week off, and then all of a sudden Edmonton's here, Oak City. You get a bunch of young, good players on their team. So these are benchmark weekends for us coming up. This weekend for sure against Toronto. Do we respond? Are we better than we were a year ago against them? How do we handle it? And then certainly against a good young hockey club in Oak City will be a really challenge that weekend. We'll see how we do.
Thanks for your time as always. We look forward to catching Thursday and Friday's game. And for more on the Heat, head to our website, abbotsfordheat.com.